All right, just a short stream today, making sure everything is working and showing off the new model, or new faceplate, I should say. Look at that. So I'm trying to make him look a little bit more put together from scrap parts instead of a 3D printed robot. So I have here modeled after a lovely piece of office equipment here. Camera, printer, disk drive, oscilloscope. Yeah, it's coming together. It's coming together. But today, gonna be working on some modeling. Gotta add a little bit more interest to Virtual Rusty here. My low poly 3D model. You can see me. Ta-da! Both hands. So here is right here. And I just want to add a little bit more interest while still maintaining a low poly count. Yeah, let's get the robot going too. So I'm actually tracking with two different computers and two different cameras. I got the camera, well, and a leap. I got the camera in front, both cameras in front of me. One is controlling the servos on the secondary PC, and the other camera is directly in front of me, also controlling low poly Virtual Rusty. So we got Virtual Rusty and I don't know, either Rusty Actual or maybe Old Man Rusty, be more accurate. And Old Man Rusty over there just had a number of fixes and got his new faceplate. Looking kind of snazzy. Thought I'd have just a short stream. Testing him out, making sure he hangs in there. I figured out the problem with the neck being super creaky. There was some binding way down in here on the gear train. The bottom gear was crooked. So instead of being nice, lined up, nice, oops. And when I use the leap in front of my hands, tangent. When I use the hand tracking, waving my hands around, I block the camera that is being used to control Rusty. So, Old Man Rusty, and he gets a little out of whack. Oh, and there's some creaking coming back. And that is why we are doing the testing. Tilt. Tilt. Lean back. Lean forward. All right. You look at the camera. And I don't have the blinks set up automatically, but we can do this. Which, fun enough, we can also do. There we go. We can do on both models. Oh, wait, are we not working now? There we go. So I wanted to keep the two models as close to each other in spirit as possible. You know, mirroring the elements in 3D that are also, well, technically those were also 3D. Oh, there's a number of 3D printed components and also actual hardware, like the disk drive is a lovely 3.5-inch disk drive. The printer up top, scanner tray technically, which I can move in the low poly model, but I do not have hooked up to a motor yet. So I want to emulate the same, whereas the tray the tray moves back and forth as if they were eyebrows. So I can do that a little bit in 3D right now. Technically, I have the blend shapes hooked up here. Let's show us off in the background. I do have it hooked up on the model. They're just not... I need to increase the power because it's not quite strong enough. See if we look on the 3D model on the screen behind us here. Can move them around just fine also. Are doing eyebrow tracking. I did confirm this. It's just super subtle. So I gotta fix that. Right now I can do angry face. Not angry face. Oh, and I also added a few features when I imported this into Unity and or low poly version. When I brought them into Unity, I added a few more toggles like hi. And this also is an emissive material. I just changed the color, and I don't know. That is just sweet. Oh, you know what? Might as well. There. Making Rusty match a little bit. Now I do need to... well, the Rusty project is ongoing. So I want to add in the color changing, not just to the lens eye, which is a physical camera lens, but there is a LED behind there, hiding back somewhere back in here. So I think I'll make them more orange instead of this lovely red, and then I will also match the displayed eye to match the same color. I gotta hook up all those toggles. Ideally, it'd be nice if I could just hit one button and they would all go. But we're running off 2 different computers, so it's a little trickier. Alright. There, now we're all blue again. We're all peaceful. Peaceful. Okay, so today I wanted to get in here and do a little bit more work on the Rusty model. So, if we look on Live Rusty, turn a little bit more. If we look on Live Rusty over here, there's a headphone. So I think on Virtual Rusty I want to add in the headphone and then also maybe a mic boom. I don't know if I would want that to fold away as a toggle or whatnot. I don't think I want to add in the jiggle physics, you know, for the cord that's hanging there. That's one of the perks about having the IRL version. the real world version is physics are so much simpler. If you want, let's say, an earring hanging there, you just attach an earring, and you're done. Whereas in 3D, or if you're a 2D VTuber using like Live 2D, you have to add in, you have to set the physics for that, and the sway and collisions. If you can go advanced, I forget if the basic VRM file type. Forget if that can do collisions or if you need the more advanced plugins. So work in progress. But with Mr. IRL Rusty over there, yeah, it's a little bit easier. You want something to dangle, you just add it. Glue it on. I mean, is constructed from a scavenged materials found in an abandoned factory. He's slowly putting himself back together and exploring all the wonders of new technology and the internet and video games and other fun stuff like that. Yes, that's the lore. I think I put it below the video just to make sure I didn't forget that sometimes. And that was another example of the tracking going a little funky when I talk with my hands. Yeah, there we go. I need to move the tracking camera up a little higher so that doesn't happen. Because that would just stink if Rusty starts going off the rails again. I have a little video that I should post, but I don't want to get too much behind the scenes on what's up in the noggin. When I was doing a servo test, there was a little problem, and there's a slight disconnect, and the lens servos decided to go a little haywire, which I later did some investigation, and a little piece that I have that controls the aperture, which is the eye squint on the right eye, which is the lens itself. There's a little piece I have in there, a little adapter that I machined. It popped out and got caught right about here in the lens gyro, right below the lens gyro, in between here, and it popped off this faceplate, which then popped off the left side, which is the oscilloscope looking side. And yeah, that was amusing. I had to glue some pieces back together, tighten some things down, and added some code to prevent that from happening again. Theoretically, when I was firing this up last night, the lens decided to do its own thing again. So that might be more of a Arduino transmission thing that I need to figure out. Oh, and we got a little bit of the creek back. Alright. Honestly, getting anything done today is secondary to me listening to myself speak. Alright, where were we? Okay, so today we're going to add in earmuff, which, let's see, I did import my CAD models for 3D printed high-res Rusty. I did import them, so they're hiding behind here. Alright, where are we? So they are hiding behind here. There, we go like this. Here is most of the 3D models, not all the 3D components. You know, some are stand-ins, like, that's not... I did not 3D print a vintage Fuji lens. That's a little on the busted side. So that's just a stand-in piece. However... Oh, and this is the old faceplate. We've got the new and improved one over on them right now. Yeah, let's zoom in. There we go. New and improved. You know, I should find a way to bring in my... Let's see, can we add in spout capture? Add existing. There we go. Look at him. Oops. Look at him. Isn't he great? Now we can do the head test. Head tilt. Head tilt the other way. Alright. Lean back. Lean forward. Turn. Turn. And turning's a little slow. That's alright. And squint. And of course the classic heterochromia here, because you can't be a VTuber, or at least not an anime style VTuber, without having mismatched eyes. Because rule of cool. Back to the modeling. So, if you were paying attention, yes, this faceplate here is slightly different, and it's got some upgrades. It put some buttons in on this side. I'm going to add in some dials over to the let's see, the right side of the left side. And we are going to add in, I think, this piece. Let's get that nice angle, because right now, I don't know if I can tilt my head that far. There we go. It's just flat. It's just flat over on this side. So I'm going to add in the little angle bracket at the front, which is also flat right now. And then I will add in the headphone. Possibly with a mic boom. So I love the, not irony, but the silliness, the absurdity of why does a robot need a microphone? Couldn't it all be software inside here? Software, hardware. But it goes with the aesthetic of pieced together from bits and pieces. So like this is currently cardboard on Rusty Actual. I'm going to work on that down the road too. But I do like the idea that he can't, oh, excuse me, I can't connect to, you know, the Wi-Fi, the internet, the radio. It has to be done manually through a computer. It's a fun idea. Either to keep him safe from whoever might be looking for him as an advanced robot type, or to keep us safe from him, you know, Skynet rules. Okay, now let's see. Let's turn the music down just a little bit. I don't know how loud it is for you guys, because it's coming through on my actual computer. Oh, we are definitely still a little creaky. There must still be some binding in the neck. Okay, let's see. So the basic shape. That doesn't help as much because it shows. There we go. Basic shape is this front panel, which is here, and then a slight angle bracket, kind of like a support. Yeah, right here in the support. So that's super easy to model. I could actually just rearrange the polygons a little bit. And because this is low poly, okay, low poly Rusty. Here, let's have, oh wow, we are really squeaky today. Good thing I'm doing the stress test live. Okay, so right now we just have one big fat flat rectangle here, polygon. But I do want to make it more interesting. I think I'd like to make it... Well, see, it's drawing the line between how faithful do I want to be to low poly and, you know, how neat do I want it to look. Because it's all flat shaded by, you know, to match the aesthetic of the model here too in the business suit. So these are all flat shaded. I'm not drawing the pixels on here. It's actually taking the UV map, which says what colors go where, taking that UV map, and the pixels are super pinched in, you know, super scaled down, so they only pull in one color. Because At least I don't remember how to assign colors to the faces instead of bothering with an image. Okay, we are not pulling up the menus when we... Okay, we're going to switch to... display, oh, not that one. Let's see. That is why we don't use display capture, because we are not set up properly. There we go. Display wide. There we go. Now we will show everything. Yeah, if you were really quick on that, you would have seen that I do indeed have, let's see, Steam and Blender and... ooh, some text files on the screen. Terrible, terrible. Okay, the question is the squeaking only side to side or up and down? Definitely the up and down. Okay. I think I need to secure that neck servo a little better, so it doesn't take the easy route and get a little crooked. Part of the problem is because I was going for rule of cool and having I wanted to see the gears turning. It'd be more for when I have the big chatting window up. Let's see. So you can see. There we go. Because it just looks hella cool. I mean, really. And the reason the gears have this little angle design, well, this works really good for doing lectures. Hello. You see here the gear chain on Rusty Robot. There we go. You see that they have these little angles on the gears. It's called a herringbone, and that is so that they more or less center themselves, because they're 3D printed gears and they are not super precise. But that's okay. I do not have quite that amount of industrial facilities to have my own gears. At least not to what I would want. Nor the funds to buy gears, because, wow. I'd have to use, like, Lego or Connects or something. Or, more practical anyways, would be belt drive. There are other creators on YouTube that I looked to for inspiration, and they either directly use the servos, to do things like head tilt, but you don't get as much range of motion. I mean, look at this range of motion. Yeah, you can go a little bit further, but I put safeties in the code so that he wouldn't swing his neck around too fast. Or even the side to side here. If I lean back, you can see the side to side. Way up. Other hand. Way up there. That one you won't see move because a servo motor is up inside of his head. So that's the part that's doing the actual moving. But it looks the same as these guys. But yes, rule of cool is that I wanted more gear movement, and the penalty for that is these are not lined up super duper precise. I actually have a little adjustment offset in the shaft that holds the middle gear, just to adjust it tighter or looser. And the problem being is that they bind a little bit. That's what's causing the squeaking. The squeaking is actually the bolt against the wood over there. So, oh hey, look, we're getting the camera warning already. Knew it was going to be a short stream. Didn't think it'd be that short. Alright. So, we're going to keep recording, but I might have to turn off... Old Man Rusty for part of that. And that's okay. You still got virtual! I'm going to make a few more designs for virtual Rusty. And like if I don't feel like, or my webcam tracking breaks, I'm going to get an old PNG model as a backup. Really, I want to make a, instead of a PNG motion, you know, one controlled by audio, I want to make one in Flash, or maybe GIF, big GIF tuber, or Flash tuber, instead of a PNG tuber, or all the different subsets of VTubers. I want them all, because that's what this project is for. It's just having fun. So why not? Alright. Yeah, let's check on... And it's super amusing to me that in order to check how my camera's doing, because I don't have it, I just have it running off a battery, I have to go to chatting screen to look up there. Right there. That's how we're doing for the battery. Not great. I'm sure it'll go to the, oh hey, you don't have a signal anymore over in the screen over there. So let's get what we done. Get done what we can while we can. Alright. So for now, we are going to Cuba. Way too big of a cube. Oh, it's nice. The default Maya shader, which is this lovely gray, is slightly different than the colors I chose for Rusty. Oh man, I'm gonna actually have to. I'm gonna have to adjust the colors for the faceplate here, because now we've got the 80s electronics pale cream off-white. Should look up to see what the actual color term is. I found a spray can that was the exact color. I should probably write down what the name of that is, because yeah, it is the exact color, and it pretty much matches the Commodore, the Apple, those kind of, well, maybe not the Commodore, because the Commodore's a little more tan, but matches like the Apple computers of the day. And before we lose camera, get it behind there? Oh no, Rusty's in the way of the camera. There we go. If you look way back there, got an old Atari and a Commodore hiding away back there. I will be streaming retro games, and I'm very much looking forward to it. See what else we got. We got some. There we go. There we go. We got Atari, a Commodore, Dreamcast. Got some Saturn games hiding away back there. Some diskettes. Dug those out of storage, so I was going through some old stuff. So yeah, looking forward to playing some retro games on stream here. Oops, now we're out of focus. There we go. But it's okay, we're gonna lose Rusty in a minute anyways. I don't think we have too much. You know, that low battery indicator up there sure hangs on for a while. That's what I get for not changing out the battery before I start streaming. Could always pause and go to BRB screen, but at the same time I can't stand too long this morning. Should have almost changed it to a just chatting stream at this point. Okay, where were we? Oh, off screen I've got my blend shapes here. So now that I figured out display capture, where it's just actually shows things like the menus, I'm gonna probably be using display capture instead of application. Wait, what do they call it? Game capture? There, this one. This one does not show any menus or boxes. It just shows my cursor. It's odd. There we go. So we do not need any subdivisions along the width. You know, we're just going to model this one. Squeeze it around. I don't think I'm going to line it up exactly to be the same as the other one, because it really doesn't need to be a precise match. We are going to do subdivisions height. We got let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 and 2. There we go. So see, I can adjust this part now. However I want it to look aesthetically, because it doesn't need to be precise. Now on actual Rusty over there, it does serve a purpose. It holds in the, let's see if I can spin old man Rusty around enough. While he's still on camera. It does serve a purpose, but it holds in the whole side panel over here. There we go. That's a good shot. It holds in the side panel, which is currently a cardboard box, because that's a lot of 3D printing otherwise. But ideally, I want to find a real-life component that would fit the bill for that general shape and size. Because, man, on the other side here, it took quite a while to 3D print this side. And the power cut out because of a storm. So I had this much that was not 3D printed, but it was 90% done. It was fun. Start the music up again. All right. So we got, I believe this is pretty close to how it looked. I don't know if I want that to be a little bit more of a 45. I do try to keep everything on this model, since he's more robotic. I'm trying to keep the angles to like 45s and 33s, so that's like an even number. So 33 would be, or I should say divisions of 4 or 6 also. So like hexagons, rectangles. Like if you look over here, here's a trapezoid. It is literally one big polygon, because I want a nice flat smooth surface. So this piece right here is going to go right here, and then the headphone is going to go directly opposite the antenna. Now I do plan to have them be well, especially the antenna when I get the design more figured out, to be controlled either by just looping animations or maybe toggles. I want to move around a little bit. Same thing on Rusty Actual. I want the antenna especially is going to be pretty cool once I decide on a design, which will probably be multiple designs. I can just swap out. Like I do want to swap out the mouth faceplate, or have be able to put on different expressions for different games or different events, holidays. You know, instead of getting a holiday outfit, it'll be swapping around pieces. Again, because why not? Why not? Wider so that it's... Whoops, that is not nearly... Ha! That is not nearly large enough. Yeah, I'm going to turn off Rusty's neck over here. Now the cool thing about writing all the software yourself... Yeah, let's get a... Little tilt. Cool thing about writing the software yourself is you can add in all sorts of safety measures. There, like I just disabled the neck servos. So his eye servos can still move, but we can take care of that too. Notice he's staying put. And now he's not. All sorts of built-in controls. I can also manually control the rotations. You know, the movement. I'd like to hook it up to a gamepad, but I haven't gotten that far yet. There we go. Okay, let's get this lined up. I mean, that actually looks like, just by eyeballing it there, that looks pretty much right where I wanted it to be. Maybe a little bit thicker so that it goes underneath the tray. And just enough to cast a shadow. Because I'm getting most of the volume on the model here is from having the shadow. So if you look right in the center, the difference between the two faceplates and there's is very similar. In fact, it's exactly the same amount as the difference between the oscilloscope faceplate and the camera side. It's this, you know, because I brought the CAD models right into here and then made the low poly model. It's the same distance, but at certain angles, like this one, you can't really tell with the lighting. Part of that's because, well, I'd like to get a better lighting source, but that requires more tweaking in either the software I'm currently using, VCFace, or if I move over to something like Wardo or most likely Vignon. Vignon because it has a lot of customizations, less customizability. So I'm looking forward to moving to that. But in the meantime, I'm sticking with this because I have it. I've got it figured out for now. So unlike most parts of what I tend to do for my hobbies, one thing at a time. List. If you notice just by watching the stream, I'm a Tangentosaurus over here. It's like, oh hey, oh, by the way, that thing. Oh, but what about this? Oh, look at this cool thing. Where were we? We were going to model a simple headphone. And this is as far as we got, because it's just fun to chatter about this and show off where we're at right now. No, I actually think I'm going to be wrapping up fairly soon. And man, I got one whole box done. Was very sophisticated modeling in the polygons here. Man, it is just such difficult work. Yeah. Okay, well, Rusty Actual is definitely on his last chunk of battery. So we are going to put the pause on him. And we might actually just call it here. I'm happy with a little test stream to make sure everything's working all right. And next time maybe we'll actually get to that, yeah, we'll actually get to that. Get to the headphones. Or maybe I'll work on more of the blend shapes for the animations. Because it'd be nice to get some more animations so I'm not just a rectangular box. I mean, yeah, I can blink. Yeah, I can blink. I can make angry face. But it'll be nice to get some more animations, make some more things rotate, maybe add in another splash of color because don't have a whole lot going on with this gray mechanically box. So we'll see how that all goes. Alright, I'm going to call the stream here and catch y'all next time I randomly hop online. Laters!